Coming from CNBC, China threatens retaliation against U.S. humanoid robot ban, says it severely damages relations. Yes. I think that is the plan. I think that is the purpose. I think Trump going around and hitting everybody he can get close to is all about destroying relations. So I think this is kind of an interesting story. And the whole question of when do we hit the tipping point when the world stops trying to placate Trump because they realize they simply can never placate Trump. If you do something that Trump likes, he is going to hit you again so that he can try to get something else out of you, right? He thinks everybody in the world is a piñata, and that's how he makes a deal. Keep smacking shit with a baseball bat and see what the hell pops out. So the problem is as I've talked about before, in any kind of relationship, both sides have agency. What happens when the other side just stops giving a fuck? What happens when the other side realizes there is no winning in a relationship with the Trump administration? Ergo, the only thing that you can do is walk away or punish the Trump administration or whatever else. And I think that's the thing that China is starting to realize at this point in time, is that basically there's about nothing that they can do to placate the United States. This is something that I've been bringing up for many years at this point. Being an American citizen, one of my questions is what does China need to do to placate America? Right? I'm not saying Xi is going to do it, but let's just say he was. Let's say he was willing to surrender. Let's say he was willing to do whatever it is that America wants him to do. Here's an interesting question. What would that be? What would his loss actually look like? What is there that China could do to stop this insanity? And I have to say, as an American citizen, I can't give you a good answer to that, right? I don't think simply opening up markets is going to do it. I don't think bringing down the Great Firewall is going to do it. I am not really sure what China would have to do to placate the old senile bastards that have been in the White House way too long, right? Because at the end of the day, these people are scared of their shadow. How do you negotiate? How do you do a deal with somebody who is scared of their own shadow? Anything that you do is going to be considered a threat, and they're going to try to punch you. At what point does that start to get pretty ugly? So the thing that's going on right now is humanoid robots, and actually not just humanoid robots. Things like Roombas too, apparently are now being banned by the U.S. I don't know. to Lordy, I don't know, to protect our native robot corporations. What are those again? I don't know. I have no idea. Optimus. Apparently it is Optimus. So again, we're going to be banning the humanoid robots. We're also going to be banning, I think, the power inverters, any kind of communicating power inverters coming out of China. And it looks like China is just starting to get tired. And it looks like they are going to start cracking their whip. And yeah, it's going to be curious to see where this goes. Because I mean, that one of the problems that you run into is even with actions that might end up being self-destructive at the end of the day. For a lot of politicians, right, they have to worry about what their constituents think. All societies are democracies at the end of the day. Because at the end of the day, people can pick up pitchforks and guillotine the shit out of their leadership, right? The reality is people agree to be part of certain civilizations. And part of that agreement is that they feel like they are getting something out of it, right? That's one of the things you see sometimes with actual tyrannies or dictatorships. A lot of times they fall simply when the masses are no longer getting a benefit out of these people being in power, right? So for a long time, right? If you're a tyrant or you're a dictator, and you're actually providing better living conditions for people, right? It's an option. It is a real option. It's like, well, my family is getting fed. We have a pretty decent house. My kids can get an education and they have a future. And I am under a total tyranny. Eh, right? It's only so much shit you can worry about in a day. And honestly, I think I'm doing pretty good. The problem is when the economy starts falling apart, then you don't have all of those things and you're under a tyranny. And that's when you start dragging people out of holes in the middle of the woods and hanging them or whatever else. And so, one of the things to be thinking about with China is, again, there's this idea, there's the mythology of the strength of the Chinese Communist Party. But at the end of the day, the Chinese are very capable of murdering tens of millions of their own people just to move the ball forward as far as their civilization is concerned. And so one of the things that the politicians there have to be worried about is that if they seem to be pawns of the United States, if they seem to be basically being embarrassed by the United States day in and day out, right? It's not rolling with a punch. It's not overlooking a slight. It's day in, day out being called absolute worthless pieces of shit that can never be trusted. At people that are so lacking in civilization that they only have to copy what the real civilizations do and can never create anything on their own. And when they do things that, again, a country half the world away has the right to punish them, at what point do the citizens of that country say, we need to gut punch these motherfuckers? And if our politicians are not willing to gut punch these motherfuckers, we need to find some politicians that are willing to do so. And again, right? That's the whole thing. There's ego. Everybody has ego. People, and I know this is gonna be a surprise coming from an American, but here's the deal: people are people. Human beings are human beings. And at a certain point in time, when you insult them enough, they're going to let you know that they're not amused anymore. And I think we're getting to that point with the Trump administration. Once again, with the Trump administration, there's no negotiating with the Trump administration. I mean, we see this with the Europeans, right? The Europeans trying to negotiate, they try to work through, they create deals, and then he goes back on the deals, right? 60 countries, 80 countries, I don't know, a huge number of countries now have tariffs. Why? Because fucking Trump had a fucking shit fit. He had a bad can of Coke, right? Like right now, like they're talking about tariffing China or tariffing Canada because of Canada's wildfires. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I think that's the problem. Like everybody is looking at the psychotic piece of crap, and they're looking at the castrated poodles around them, pissing over themselves, begging for the world to see them as the alpha dogs that they are. And what they're realizing is this is just fucking insanity. Trying to negotiate with insanity is just dumb, right? Trying to placate insanity is just dumb. At a certain point in time, you got to fucking gut check insanity. You got to bring the motherfucker to his knees and actually make the fucker cry. And then maybe you can have a negotiation. But anyways, and that's my concern right now is I think it's inertia. I've talked about that before. Inertia, a lot of stuff in business and politics. So much is inertia. You're doing the things that you do today because you did them yesterday. You will do the same things that you're doing today tomorrow because you did them today. And the problem though is when inertia changes, right? The inertia has been for a long time to placate the United States. Maybe we have more or less insane politicians in office, but by and large, other countries have done okay by dealing with us. Are we hitting the tipping point, the inertial tipping point, where even after Trump leaves, even if we actually do get a good president, like a good one, right? What happens if the inertia is broken to such a degree the rest of the world just doesn't give a fuck anymore? And anyways, yeah, that's the kind of American traitor I am. I'm fucking worried that the world is just no longer giving a shit about what America thinks. I'm worried about the Trump administration is destroying every ounce of power our country has, is destroying everything that has been built up over hundreds of years just so he can pretend like he's a fucking dog. But the problem is with the alpha dogs, right? All these alpha. Yeah, motherfucker. But the thing about the alpha dogs is when the man fucking cracks the leash, the dog fucking yelps. And I'm worried the men of the world are gonna get tired of the dogs. But anyways, that's just my ranting for the day. Because this just keeps going. It's like, Eli, why do you keep talking about it? Because again, it's just every day. The US FCC has repeatedly ignored Beijing's restrained stance on product bans, China's Commerce Ministry said Thursday, threatening retaliation. And that was one of the big concerns here, again, especially with the Trump administration, as you have the other side of this negotiation or whatever else, and they are trying to be restrained. They understand if things spiral out of control, it is going to be bad for everybody, and everybody includes them, and they would prefer it doesn't get really bad for them, and so they are trying to be restrained, right? The other side is going too far, but hey, let's be restrained. Let them burn themselves out, and then we can have some real negotiations. So what they're realizing with the Trump administration is you will never fucking have that because he's an insane, psychotic piece of shit that doesn't know what the fuck he wants, right? And so what China is saying is like, look, we have been restrained up until this point in time. Maybe it's time to crack the fucking leash. The FCC on Tuesday said due to cybersecurity concerns, it added foreign-made advanced robotic devices, including Roombas. Including Roombas. You will not get your Roombas into our NSA. Anyways, including humanoids, to a list restricting imports to the US. The statement did not specify a country and said retailers could still import models the FCC has previously approved. As the FCC keeps escalating restrictions on Chinese goods, it, quote, severely damages China-US economic and trade stability, China's Commerce Ministry said in an online statement Thursday. Yes. The ministry urged the U.S. to withdraw the decision and threaten countermeasures if it failed to do so. Quote, this is bad news for Chinese humanoid producers planning their IPOs in the coming months, said Eric Einstein, a research director at Counterpoint Research. Quote, the two major cards China can play are to further restrict rare earth sales to American companies and further restricting Chinese market access for American companies like Tesla and NVIDIA. Chinese companies Agabot, Unitree, and UB Tech accounted for the top three humanoid companies by installation market share last year. According to Counterpoint, Tesla's Optimus ranked fifth. I do have to wonder when they talk about like top three and fifth, what those numbers, actually look like. The 5 robots are in the field, 500 robots are in the field, 5,000 robots are in the field. I think that's a bit of a question there. So anyways, this will be interesting to follow and to see where it goes. And one of the things, too, to be thinking about when everything goes sideways, sometimes things go sideways, and when they do, it appears to be a non sequitur, right? Okay, so the United States is going to be banning humanoid robots. Now, however you feel about that, it doesn't seem like that big a deal. Right? It doesn't seem like that massive of an issue. Okay, they retaliate against us no longer importing humanoid robots. How bad is that gonna be? The problem you deal with in the real world, though, is that slights are cumulative. You're not dealing with the blowback of banning humanoid robots, right? Banning humanoid robots is like 1 ounce of being a bastard. Problem is all of the other weight that is built up on the Chinese-American relationship. Again, think about this in the United States, right? How many times in the news do I hear about a new weapon system that is literally being created with the sole purpose of killing Chinese, right? When we talk about a war with China, we are talking about America trying to kill the Chinese. And you say, well, if it's war with China, the other side is true too. It's like, no, there is nothing that I've seen where China is a threat to the American shores. I mean, think about this for a second, right? We have aircraft carriers, right? One of the big things right now is, oh no, they have ballistic missiles that can take out our aircraft carriers that are around China. Here's a question for you. How many Chinese aircraft carriers are tootling along in the Gulf of Mexico? Right? When was the last time you heard about somebody going out for a charter fishing expedition in Maine and they saw a big ass fucking Chinese aircraft carrier in the distance? It's just not there. Like in no scenario do we currently have will China invade the United States. Just doesn't even fucking exist. Doesn't fucking come up, right? And yet, day after day after day, why are we creating this new weapon system? Why are we funding this new weapon system? Why are we training these people to kill, right? And day after day after day, it is the mantra that China man is bad. And if they are not willing to stay in their place, we must use force to put them in their place. And here's the thing. Imagine you're Chinese. Imagine you're Chinese and you hate the Chinese Communist Party. Let's say you hate the CPP with an absolute passion. Your papa went to jail. Your grandpapa went to jail. Your great-great-grandpapa went for jail. Right? Your wife, I don't know, wanted French fries one day. That was considered bad. She went to jail. Right? Just exaggerating here. But imagine you had a real deep-seated hate for the CPP. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to trust the United States. You can fucking hate the Chinese Communist Party and fucking hate the United States at the exact same time. And again, if you're looking at an option, you might be like, well, I'd rather deal with my own government, frankly, than those bastards over there. Those bastards that we can never, ever, ever placate. The only way to placate them is to put our neck under their knee, and then maybe they would feel comfortable at that point in time. So anyways, I do wonder when we will hit the particular tipping point, and I do think we might be getting close to the particular tipping point where Xi has to start cracking the leash. Start having to yank the leash until the motherfucking dog yelps. Because sometimes what you gotta do, not with a chihuahua. That would be sad with a chihuahua. Don't do that to a chihuahua. But anyway, a big dog, right? Anyway, so what do you think about this? What do you think about China threatening to retaliate for the robot ban? What do you think about the Trump administration? Right? Nothing is good enough. They're not fucking making deals. They're not having negotiations. They're a bunch of B-roll fucking mafioso wannabes, literally trying to beat everybody with a baseball bat like they're a piñata, trying to see what the hell will come out. At what point does the rest of the world, at what point is it simply no longer viable for the rest of the world to deal with our insanity? Anywho, put your thoughts down below. If you like these episodes, do remember they're on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts. Link is down below. If you want to follow me on LinkedIn, there's a link down there too. With that, see y'all later.